Well, it's a sunny day here outside of Seoul, South Korea, and we are in the Hyundai Ioniq 6, the company's latest EV vehicle. Now, this is a sedan. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 is the SUV looking one. You're still going to find plenty of pixels in the design of this car, about 726 or so. This car applies classic streamlining principles from classic cars like the Stout Scarab and Saab 92 to a modern vehicle. The idea is to cheat the wind into creating the longest range possible given the electric battery and motor that powers this car. Now, one of the Hyundai numbers for its range is 614 kilometers. Here with the full charge, real world, we've been seeing about 455 kilometers of range. We're about halfway through this battery, but we will talk more about range as we get underway. We'll put it in drive, in the selector here, and head out into the beautiful countryside. So the Hyundai Ioniq 6 is not a sports car. It's not a performance vehicle, but it does have plenty of power. 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque. It will go 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.1 seconds, but that's not really what it's meant to do. It's built to be a comfortable electric car, and at that it succeeds. With the outside, Hyundai wanted to develop a modern streamliner, a car with a tapered back end, a sweeping front end, and a single curve roofline to extend the visual length of the car and make it look longer and lower than it is. Compared to other EVs on the market, it looks lower, wider, and more sleek. In fact, tiny styling differences were agonized over. For example, the square headlights on the front actually angle inwards at exactly 3 degrees. Any less, and the car would look sad and droopy. Any more angle, and it would have an angry face, which the designer did not want to have. This car will be available with 2 different battery packs and 2 different drive options. You can have it as rear drive, all-wheel drive, standard battery pack, or extended range. All the cars that we're driving today are the big battery all-wheel drive. So this is the fully loaded. This is going to give you the maximum acceleration, 5.1 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers. However, maximum range is achieved with the 2-wheel drive large battery unit that we are not driving. Inside is really where I think this car shines. With EVs, you have to differentiate your car in ways other than the powertrain, because most EV powertrains simply feel the same. They're just smooth, quiet, easy torque. So inside is where this car has really focused to differentiate itself. You might notice my mirror, my side mirror, or lack of. So this car, because it's a Korean model, does have the digital side view mirrors. They project on a screen on each side of the dashboard. Cars sold in North America will not get them, and they will cut the range because the larger mirrors have more drag, and it will affect range by 1.5 kilometers, I am told, per charge. So not a huge efficiency advantage. Now, in practice, these digital mirrors take a little getting used to. First of all, you have to train your mind to not look outside the window, but to look right here to see your mirrors and your blind spots. So it does take a little getting used to. I wish we had the chance to try this system at nighttime and rain, but right now in the daytime and occasionally in the darker tunnel, they do seem to be working pretty well. The field of vision also isn't quite as wide as I would like, and even with the mirrors fully splayed out to their widest, you still get a bit of the car in the screen. Otherwise, Hyundai has worked to instill mindfulness into this interior. They really want to make sure that this is a space where a person can feel relaxed, feel safe, and feel engaged with this car. To that effect, it's bright outside, but they do have 2-color mood lighting throughout the vehicle in colors that are customizable, and I believe there are 64 pre-chosen hues you can choose. Otherwise, typical electric car stuff. The floor is very flat, very low, very airy. Back, there's no transmission tunnel, has a completely flat back floor. The center console is actually wide and flat on purpose, so it can fit a laptop, so you can work from Hyundai, if you will. Also, Hyundai has just shown that they are the master of small design, very detail-oriented design. For example, it's a digital gauge cluster, as you would have in many other cars, but they don't look like typical gauges. There's no needles to be found here. Because it's digital, they can make it look like anything. You have, again, more pixels to represent your speed and your power consumption. The doors are devoid of any buttons. All the window switches and door locks and other things that you would have on the door are moved here into the console so that the door is this nice, clean shape. And this rippled texture on the side lights up in lower light conditions and lets the mood lighting kind of reflect off of it. Also, you have the typical Hyundai Ioniq 2-spoke steering wheel, which encourages a relaxed way of driving. There's no central spoke down here. It does encourage you to just kind of rest your hands up here and drive easily. And that's the other part about this car. You can hustle it through the turns. It does have a sport mode. Like most electric cars, you have the instant response of the electric power, and you have an inherently low center of gravity compared to a conventional gas sedan. That said, there's a lot of mass at play here, 2,100 kilograms. So it's a heavy car. And when you try to throw it into a corner, it's not bad, but you are gonna feel the weight, and it's by no means a BMW M5. Also, this interior is available in several different colors. You can get it obviously in black and this off-white like we have it, but also interesting colors like clay red and some blues. There's a lot of different color options in the interior, which allows the owner to actually personalize this space. Out back, there's rear usable seats. I would say 2 of the 3 can fit a regular person for a long amount of time. There is class-leading rear legroom and headroom for an EV, actually, more than you would find in a Tesla Model 3. The compromise to achieve that rear seat legroom and headroom, well, it's come in the trunk. The trunk has a fairly high load floor, and while you could fit 4 people in here comfortably for a long trip, you may have to strategize to fit all their luggage. Canadian pricing and availability has yet to be officially announced, but we can expect this for spring or summer in 2023. The pricing, well, again, it has not been officially announced, but we can expect that the pricing will be very close to that of the Hyundai Ioniq 5, which currently in Canada starts at $47,550. In Canada, your EV credit depends on your province, but that price could drop significantly depending on where you live. Now, in terms of nuts and bolts, like I said, you can get the standard or the larger battery, all-wheel drive with 2 motors, or rear-wheel drive with a single motor. It is a rear bias system. And also, this is optimized for 800-volt architecture, which means that you can charge it from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes. You can fast charge this vehicle like you could a Porsche Taycan, Audi e-tron, all of the latest and newest EVs based on 800-volt architecture like this one. Overall, this marks a shift younger in Hyundai's demographic. The Pixels, for example, are a bridge of generations. Older people remember Pixels from Pong, and younger people are more familiar with Pixels as they appear in Roblox. And like the young Pixel motif featured throughout this car, the car's designers and staff that engineered it are a young team. We got a chance to meet them here in Seoul, and there's not a lot of older people among them, and this is reflected in the way this car is marketed. Part of the marketing for this car includes a VR experience with metaverse integration. The less said about that, the better. It does show that they are going after a younger buyer, perhaps people that don't have driver's licenses yet, but maybe when they do, they're going to get older and they're going to want a Hyundai Ioniq. From Seoul, South Korea, I am Clayton Seams for Driving.ca, and for more EV news and reviews, don't forget to check out our website for a full written review on this car.